Welcome back to this three-part series where I drive 3 different generation Audi R8 cars and compare and contrast the different transmission types available for this platform, the S-Tronic, R-Tronic, and manual. Now, in our last episode, I drove Johnny's S-Tronic car, which is a dual clutch car, and it was one of the smoothest and quickest shifting transmissions I've ever driven. Now we're going to talk about the R-Tronic transmission, and we're going to focus on the characteristics, quirks, and challenges of owning and operating this type of transmission. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you. My name is Mark and I'm your host, and I want to welcome Connor. Connor,
how's it going? Thanks for having me, Mark.
Thanks
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thanks for coming onto the channel. And this is a 2008 R8 V8, and the transmission is R-Tronic.
Yes, it is.
R-Tronic. Can you explain to us, Connor, what is an R-Tronic for people who may not know?
Yeah, so basically simplified, it's a single clutch transmission, and it's before the dual clutch transmission that we have today. Correct.
The transmission itself, though, is technically a manual, meaning that you can it's the same transmission used in the gated manual versus the R-Tronic, right?
Correct. It's the same Lamborghini transmission, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's the Lamborghini
Gallardo,
yeah.
the 08, 09, yeah.
The 08 Gallardo. So yeah, you could say that you have a Lamborghini transmission.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Not the V10, but the
it's
V8.
still good. This is a V8 still. This is 2008, and this is the same year as my car. Okay. And this is well, this brings back memories because I had an R-Tronic. For me, I think the R-Tronic is kind of like the middle ground from like a gated manual to R-Tronic, and then if you want to go full automatic, full track race, you go to dual clutch.
Dual clutch, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No one competes with the PDK.
Yeah.
In Porsche.
So it's hard to compete in terms of shifting speed. And,
yes.
But then there's other characteristics I think the R-Tronic has its charms too.
Yes, absolutely.
So we'll talk about that. So let's let's go and start.
Okay. There you go.
There you go. All right, and did you tune this TCO?
No tuned, no exhaust, full factory setup.
Wow.
With the engine, so I have not touched that.
Okay, so yeah, this is normal mode right now, and it's fine, and you feel like a little, it kind of lurches when it
does,
shifts.
absolutely.
So let's just get the elephant out of the room about this. Like, when you're in normal automatic daily driving mode, how does it feel when it shifts by itself?
Yeah, so if you're in automatic and you're just cruising, you're not trying to romp on it, you're not trying to set any lap records, it is a little irritating because you really feel the shifts. It really takes like more than half a second.
And it kind of bugs like this, right?
Absolutely, especially at low speeds.
Yes.
Actually, low speeds, I don't do automatic. I exclusively will use in manual mode.
Okay, so you'll shift yourself.
I just don't deal with it because it's god-awful.
Okay, got it. All right, that's out of the way. And why is that? Well, the tune is the software, because they actually, I think, my opinion, they want it to be smoother when you're in automatic, but they delayed the shifting because it's still a single clutch, so it shifts, it declutches, it shifts the fork, and then it goes to the next gear, but then it's like, now we're there. Okay, now we're there. It just feels like, if you're learning how to drive a manual the first time.
Yes. That was a good analogy.
I think, awesome. So this is really the main defining characteristic of this car. However, if you don't want to shift yourself, and if you're like tired, like
it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
You can still daily drive this.
You totally can. Absolutely. I daily drive it.
Okay. Okay. Great. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Nice. So firsthand knowledge from this owner. He daily drives this car, and it's fine. It's like, so there's some characteristics that you need to be aware of, such as the bucking, the shifting. I've heard that you can tune it, right? You can tune the TCU.
Oh, I did not know that.
I heard, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So you can make the shifting go a little bit faster, especially in sport mode.
Like an ECU computer tune?
It's a TCU tune.
Yeah,
so transmission control.
Oh, okay, got it.
You just hook it into the OBD2 port.
Gotcha.
And then tune it, and it will shift faster, and that actually will be smoother because I think it increases the hydraulic pressure.
Very cool.
And it's a hydraulic unit. So that's the main point. There's a robot on top of the transmission. It's called the R-Tronic unit, and it's a hydraulic unit that actually shifts
declutches and shifts the forks for you.
You're teaching me stuff. I love it.
Awesome, yeah, awesome. So that is how it works. Like that's how the E-gears work for Gallardo. I think that's how the F1 transmissions work for the Ferrari as well.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a hydraulic unit, and it's all hydraulic.
Yeah.
In that sense. So that is how it shifts for you, and the tune increases the hydraulic pressure. Now, one thing I want to note is that yes, this is a transmission that's kind of in the middle. However, it kind of has, I think, a Jekyll and Hyde type of personality. Like, meaning if you want to be smooth, and what we're driving is very smooth and very daily drivable.
Yes.
And then if you want to romp on it.
Yeah, so actually, if you shift manually and you're at higher speeds and quicker shifting, it actually will shift quicker at higher speeds. And if you're romping on accelerating fast and such, it does shift very, very fast.
So it kind of is a dual personality, this car, if
absolutely.
you want it. So that is one thing that the R-Tronic can provide you if you want that type of driving experience.
Yeah, and if you want to get rid of the lurch, it's actually, I found it very easy. If you're in manual shift mode, either with the paddle shifters or the gear lever, and you're in, you know, 4th gear to 3rd gear, and then if you go to 2nd gear and you're approaching a light, just don't touch it. And then when you stop at the light, it will automatically go to 1st, 0 lurching.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I actually solved that issue, and that was my only issue.
Yes, so it feels like for R-Tronic drivers, you kind of have to learn the way of R-Tronic driving, right? It's a unique way of driving it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So now let's figure out, let's go into sport mode.
Yeah, go for it. Just shift. Oh yeah, sport mode really turns on a characteristic of the car. It keeps the RPMs high. Shifting, it's a lot more like you feel that punch of the shift, which is awesome.
And let's talk about this punch, because the dual clutch is you don't feel this punch. So I'm gonna downshift now.
Yeah. You can downshift again.
Yeah,
Seriously, it takes off, man.
Wow, you feel this punch, right? That's like, you don't feel that kick in a dual clutch. Let's talk about that. Is a type of feeling that a lot of R-Tronic drivers love and preach.
I love it.
Say, right?
I love it.
They're
it kicks you in your seat every single shift.
It kicks you, and you're like,
I love it.
I don't have to deal with third pedal if I have to, and I just want that kick. And like, we're in these nice backcountry roads, and it's a great road to like just shift down. 2 gears, flick it. And go flick two gears down. And
actually, what you can, see,
there we go.
It just takes off.
Just takes off. Woohoo! That's nice. That's fun.
That's fun.
That's a fun car.
Yeah, man. So, and actually, a cool thing about the this one right here is you can be in automatic mode.
Yes.
Be in sport mode, and then if you at the base of the accelerator pedal, there's like a button. It's like you press it in, and then it automatically kicks the lowest gear possible and takes you off.
Nice. So let's see if I can like do.
Yeah. So you go to auto.
I am in auto now.
Go to like a higher gear.
High gear.
So get a higher gear.
All right.
Oh, sorry, like a 4 or 5 gear.
4 or 5 gear.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still manual, so I'm auto now. Okay.
Yeah. No, you're good. And then just press the floor all the way to pedal on a straightaway. Do you feel that? Yeah. And then it keeps the RPMs high.
Oh, nice. Then we're gonna get to too much trouble right here. Right here. Hello.
Hello, officer.
We are obeying all the laws here.
Okay,
great. So that's that Jekyll and Hyde personality that, like, I think R-Tronic transmissions offer. It's charming.
Yes.
Charming way.
It's
such a fun car.
Pins you.
Yeah, you're like, and this is R-Tronic. I'm in sport mode. I'm just shifting manually.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Everyone, it's fun. And you feel the kick versus a dual clutch.
Yeah.
Because you don't feel the kicking out. It's very smooth and it's very fast.
Smooth. It's very fast. You don't really feel it. It's kind of like instantaneous.
Yeah, it's all up to you, really.
Yeah.
About, the experience that you want.
But for the price range on what you can get these for, you can't beat it. You can't beat what's in this price range for all-encompassing sports car. Granted, the practicality maybe is a deterrent for a lot of people, but you know.
But value-wise,
it's
must. A lot of people can argue that you get a lot more value.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
Wow, this is so nice. So let's talk about what else will be a challenge for this R-Tronic? You said like it's driving this R-Tronic is kind of finicky. You have to learn how to drive it.
You have to learn how to drive it. You have to get used to it, and you have to find your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have to find your comfort zone, and then from there, once you figure it out, it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
You just have to learn how to drive it. A lot of people will say they trash on the R-Tronic is because they expect it's automatic. They expect it to drive like a torque converted automatic, but it's not, right?
Yeah, it definitely gets a bad rep. I think it's worse off according to people that have just driven it once rather than owners.
Okay.
I think if you interviewed a lot more owners of the R-Tronic, they wouldn't knock it as much as people that just get in it and drive it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So I also want to make note, because I've done research on these R-Tronics, is that the R-Tronic, since there's a separate unit on top of the transmission, there is another possible point of failure. Meaning like these, as cars get older, like things break down, right?
Yes.
So this hydraulic unit I've seen on the forums, I researched it. And it's possible that the solenoids, the O-rings, the seals will leak, so you lose hydraulic pressure. It won't shit as much.
I actually replaced the O-rings recently, very recently, and I'm actually doing a walnut blast
on your valves, right?
Yes, correct.
Nice.
I'm doing a walnut blast. I actually found a shop that was very good price, way cheaper than the dealership. And it's a walnut blast, and they said actually 2 things will happen. It will have more power output back to its original state, and MPGs actually might be better if you're not romping on it.
You'll restore
miles per gallon. Exactly.
Nice. So that is one thing that you need to realize, is that if you get an R-Tronic, you also will inherit a unit that is can fail as well. So then the transmission itself is rock solid, the actual transmission. But the unit that shifts it, possible point of failure. So for you, if you are researching this, just be aware that that's another thing that you may need to take care of. And what was that moment that you decided to flip and get this punch in your car? What was that moment?
R8?
Yeah. What was that moment? When did you decide?
I think it was when I was making better money. I was actually had the ability to afford it.
Nice.
And granted, I'm not like rolling in dough. I definitely spend a lot of my money on travel and cars. That's predominantly where my money goes. So I don't really buy any designer stuff. I don't really buy any shoes. I'm not into that stuff. So to each their own. I like to travel and I like cars, so that's where I spend my money. So when I had the ability to afford one, that's when I kind of was clicked in my brain of oh, maybe I could get one.
Oh, very cool. And then you got it, and then how's it been with ownership so far?
Phenomenal. Besides the fact that I don't want to knock the dealership too bad, but they lied on the PPI, the pre-purchase inspection, and it needed a lot of work.
What happened?
Like over $12,700 worth of work.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it was a bummer.
Oh my God, Connor, what happened? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, so it needed a full suspension, it needed rear brakes, it needed O-rings, it needed a serpentine belt, it needed a timing belt, it needed a coolant pump, it needed what else did it need? Fuel pump, it needs front brakes, it needs tires, just a colossal cost.
How did they
so it is my fault for not doing my due diligence of getting a second party doing the PPI, but I thought it was a reputable Mercedes-Benz dealership down in Laguna Niguel, so I thought, oh, they're not gonna lie to me. They totally lied to me.
So they never really did a PPI?
No, they didn't at all.
They just
or they did it and they lied.
And they're
or they didn't say anything.
It's a tax. So if you're considering this, just make sure to
have some have some funds in your bank, because the cost of the car is not the cost of the car. It's the maintenance.
That's the maintenance. So that's the thing for you all to consider when you're purchasing any R8 in general. Have some funds. Have a couple $1,000 at least.
Yes, at least.
And if you can, this is my recommendation. Try to get an aftermarket warranty if you can.
Yeah, I should have looked into that. I mean, I didn't really think of looking into that just because it was in 2008 and we're in 2022 when I bought it, but I definitely should have explored that option.
Yeah, so that is...
Because there are companies that do it.
They do,
So it costs a premium, but like my perfect example, $12,000, that I mean, I could have paid $6,000 for a warranty and been ahead of the game.
And then you could be ahead and you're like, okay, we'll fix it, let's go.
Yeah.
What would be the great tips for people who are considering buying an R-Tronic?
I would say definitely test drive it multiple times if you can, and test drive it for a length of time, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just to get used to it. And trust me, you will find a better way to drive it once you own it.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as people say, and you get used to it. And you find little things that work for you, like I mentioned previously. So it's definitely not as bad as people say.
Yeah, so, and I know
that's a big takeaway.
It's a big takeaway. You just have to learn how to drive it, and it's a wonderful transmission.
Yes.
Like, there's just some things like...
And for bang for the buck, you can't beat a first gen R8.
You can't. And for an R-Tronic, it's still a very good car. Just learn how to drive it.
Yeah.
That's really it. Because there's some nuances, some characteristics that once you get it, you can really rip on it and then it just kick.
Yes.
Like, I'm just shifting like now.
That's insane.
That's the kick.
It handles corners on rails.
Yeah, right here. Very nice. Yeah, so nice.
Yes.
I'm shifting. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
And then, higher speeds, it shifts way quicker.
So nice. So it's a very fun car, everyone. And we're gonna end this segment off with it's just driving.
Yeah, I love it.
Awesome.
There you go.
All right, Connor, thanks
so
much, man.
Appreciate it, Mark.
I really appreciate it. And I will give a plug. Connor has an awesome YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Right here. Follow him. He's also on Instagram, so you could just DM him.
Same name.
Same name, too.
And on TikTok, technically.
And TikTok. I'll post all that in the video.
Nice. Thanks, man.
Over here. And Connor, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Connor was such a lovely person to drive with, and we had a great time hanging out together, blasting through the back roads in his car. To summarize, the R-Tronic transmission is a manual car with an added robotic unit on top of the transmission. It's a hydraulic unit that sits on top of the transmission and takes care of actuating the clutch for you, as well as shifting the gears for you. It's a transmission that allows you to daily drive the car smoothly, normally, but at the same time gives you that quick upshifts and downshifts that you want when you're driving in the back roads or if you're taking the car out to the track. So unlike the S-Tronic transmission, the R-Tronic transmission allows you to feel the shifts similar to a manual, but at the same time allow you to drive normally in traffic without having to deal with a third pedal or shifting the gears yourself. Now, there is a bit of a learning curve to drive the R-Tronic smoothly. Most R-Tronic owners actually drive the car in sport mode and in manual mode to have the smoothest shifts possible. Otherwise, if you were to drive the car in normal mode, the transmission bucks the car a little bit and it's not a smooth ride. Now, if you decide to get an R-Tronic transmission, be aware that the hydraulic unit can fail. The seals, the solenoids can fail with just normal wear and tear. So therefore, that is another point of failure that can occur on the car. Therefore, I suggest you just save a little bit of money and get ready to pay for a rebuild of that hydraulic actuator. Again, just be mindful of this and be prepared to fix this hydraulic unit if it fails. In the next video, we're going to explore the final transmission, the manual car, with the third pedal and gated shifter, once my car is back together again. As always, like and subscribe to get notified when the next episode drops.